Alright. Hey everyone, Nicole here from the Hyperactive Bookworm. I am here finally back doing author interviews, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Robin Clairvaux. Hey Robin, how are you today?
Hey, Neen, how are you?
I am good. If you could please just first introduce yourself, your pronouns, and what genre you write.
Okay, yes, my name is Robin Clairvaux, as you've already said. My pronouns are they, them. Sometimes she, her, but they, them is my preferred. And I write sapphic romance, contemporary, for
And
now.
yeah, and it's all right. So your debut novel under this name has come out just recently. You have written other genres, is that
Mhm.
correct? Yeah.
Yes,
Under another name, though, that's right.
right. Yes, this is my first novel as Robin Clairvaux. Yes, yeah,
Excellent. And that novel is Forgetting with You. And I love this cover. It's so cute.
I did too. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, absolutely.
The
Um,
cover was done by Rachel. I'm gonna butcher her name. So I'm from Oklahoma. This is the South. We don't say stuff right. We don't talk right. So it's Rachel Bowdler, I believe it is. Yeah, she's also a sapphic author, but she also helps with covers in addition to that. And so we worked on that, and I was so thrilled with what she came up with.
oh, yeah, absolutely. After reading it, I'm like, oh my God, you couldn't pick a more perfect cover for it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Right?
Um, yeah, no, that's really cool. I was just about to ask, like, can we know who the artist was? There we go. Um, yeah. Um, so can you sum up Forgetting with You in 3 words? Okay, you have no choice. Sum up Forgetting with You in 3 words.
I mean, toaster oven romance.
Oh, yay! It totally is Toaster Oven. I love it. So this book is Toaster Oven. It has so much to it though, with all the family dynamics and the expectations, and it hit. And yeah, I absolutely adore this book. Um,
Thank you.
just you're welcome. So all those playing at home, yeah, I may have bugged Robin a little bit with how much I enjoyed this book as I was reading it, and I gave them very little choice to come on and talk to me about it because I did. I absolutely bugged them about how much I was enjoying this book. Um, and I got through it really quickly for an eyeballing book because it is magnificent. And I'll stop, making you blush and shit now. Um, all right. So for Forgetting with You, and perhaps you do this with all of your books, but what actually came first? Like, are you someone who knows the characters, the plot, or is there a random image in your head?
Yeah, so this one, it was actually a song that inspired this one. That's not always the case, but yeah, so there's a song by the artist Dove Cameron called Boyfriend. I don't know if you've heard it or have you heard it? I don't know. How could you not
No,
have
but
heard
I just had to giggle about the fact that his name was Cameron.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
that was intentional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, Dove Cameron spells her last name Cameron. So this was just like a play on the character's
Yeah,
name
yeah.
was a play on her last name, but it was also like a little, tilt of the hat
Yeah.
to this song.
So
So
for those playing at home, if you haven't read it, Cameron is the main character, or one of the main characters, and she is absolutely fabulous. All
yes, thank you. Yeah, no,
right.
I have a fondness for Cameron myself. So, or she goes by Cam, but so yeah,
Okay.
the song is "Boyfriend" by Duff. So you haven't heard it.
No.
Okay, I'm like this close to demanding you stop the recording and go listen to it, but no, we're not going to do that right now.
No,
But
do it.
so,
That's fine.
yeah,
You can play.
no, you don't have to. But basically, it's a song of about this girl that's like in a bar or probably a club or something, and she sees like another woman who's like been like kind of just abandoned by her boyfriend. Now, not broken up with, but just abandoned, like he ran off and did whatever, and she's just there playing on her phone, and the singer is like, I could be a better boyfriend than him. And it's a very hot song. It's very sexy. And yeah, like the first time I listened to it, like my, sapphic imagination just went off the charts. You just like, and I'm sure a lot of other sapphics who heard it felt the same way. Yeah, it's a very, very hot song. Um, yeah, I haven't seen the music video. I'm told it's pretty out there too. But anyway, so yeah, that was the thing. So I just heard the song, and just in my head, I was thinking, man, that's a great story, and I know I'm not the only one who thought that. But in my mind, like the song I'm picturing is like probably a 20 something, and she comes off as very like sexy and confident, and she just really has game, and so she's able probably to have this, have this woman come home, take her home with her, and all this stuff, and something happens from that, I'm sure. It's
Yeah.
but so I'm like, well, okay, what if this happened, this kind of thing happened, but instead of them being like a 20 something, they're a little bit older, they're in their 30s, and maybe neither one of them actually have game. Like they think they do, but then like the next morning you realize, well, they're both kind of like dorks maybe, and they're just
That's
this
the
is not
best
their
part,
thing.
though.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm like, because I don't think I wasn't really interested in writing a book about that type of character that's all confident and has all this has game. So I'm like, okay, what could I do? And so that's when it came started to my mind. Just kind of I'm like, I know I have these two characters, and it's an awkward situation for them to find themselves after the morning after a one night stand, and when it's something they just don't ever do in their normal lives.
Yep.
So
Oh,
that was kind of the start of it.
it was brilliant. I found that refreshing and new, and something that was just it pulled me in right away because well, I haven't read a lot, but the few one night stands to forever that I have read, it's yeah, they absolutely have game, and
Mhm.
it's part of their norm, and
Yeah,
then this
yeah,
person changes their norm, and it's like no.
yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah,
loved that. It was just so interesting and intriguing. And people, if you haven't read it, you absolutely, absolutely need to go and read this book. It is beautiful and sweet and laugh out loud, all rolled up together. And it is just absolutely hilarious. Specifically, my favorite scene, which I can never remember what it's called, but I just remember it being the coffee shop rant. And it's just
the scone freak
absolutely,
out.
pardon?
I call it the scone freak out scene.
The
The scone.
scone freak out scene, yes,
Yeah,
it's fantastic. It's yeah, it's absolutely up there with one of my favorite parts. um and that's really cool. I love that music can inspire that. um because and now I really need to go, I really
you
need
do.
to go and
You
find
do.
this song.
You do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, no,
But
it's a great song. But I'm like, yeah, this song sounds like it's about a someone could be a player who's singing this song. But I didn't want to write a book about a player. Maybe I will one day. But that wasn't what came out of this. So
no,
yeah.
that was definitely not this book. Of the two main characters, because we have Cam and Jackie, who are that they're both adorably dorkish, but they're so similar and so different. Like it's this bizarre combo that works so well. I don't know. When I first met them, I was like, how are these two even like compatible? And as you get to know them, you're like, they really are. But of the two of them, sorry, which are you most like, and in what ways?
Oh, definitely Cameron, hands down. Cam, yeah. First of all, I mean, so there's like superficial reasons. Like Cameron is Native American. I'm Native American. Yes. Now Cameron is outright butch. I'm more just like mask of center, but definitely, also introverted. All those things that Cam is. Yeah, an overthinker, like chronic overthinker. Definitely me. Yeah, and just all that. Kind of from Oklahoma. That's obvious. Also from more I like to say matriarchal family. So my mother, my grandmother were kind of the people who raised me the most, and so that's yeah, that's kind of
Oh,
the background I'm from. So
I
yeah, always
love
having
Cam's family so much. They are just everything.
yeah,
They
no, they're a lot. They're my yeah. So please don't make any judgments on my family based on theirs because they're a little out there. They're a little more up in your business than my mothers are. But yeah. So they definitely the most like Cam for sure. Yeah, there's some pieces of me and Jackie obviously too, but for the most part, definitely Cameron.
That is so cool. I love that. So in Forgetting with You, Cam is an artist, but at the start I didn't actually even kind of pick that the job she was in wasn't her dream. And
Mhm.
I really love that you kind of understand that as you go along. And, she's this amazing artist who found another way into it, and she learns to accept it and stuff.
Mhm.
Do you have any art-based training in your life, or is this something completely
Oh, hell no, hell no. I can do stick figure drawings, and that's the extent of it. So that was a lot of fun actually writing someone. But I mean, but I think I tapped into that creativity aspect of camp because in my day I'm a technical writer. So
oh
and so
wow,
it's like using those creative skills for something very kind of corporate and more in my case technical based. And so and it's I don't even look at my job like as, oh well, this was your safe choice or a backup. It's just using my skills for something that is a more stable thing than just being a full-time writer at this point.
that's
um
that's
so
really
yeah.
awesome. I love that. Do you struggle getting into fiction, like when you're writing after being at the day job? Like, do you have any kind of ritual to sort of kind of shake out the clinical writing that you do need to use?
No, for one thing, like as a technical writer, and I say technical writer, but I'm actually more of a technical editor. So I tend to have to edit what other people have already written. So there is that. No, it is very, I don't want to say dry because I don't want to insult anybody who's written something I have to edit, but it is very, very technical, more clinical, like you said. So yeah, but no, making that transition into the creative thing is just like normally I write after I get home and I have a commute. So a lot of times I'm listening to fiction on the way in my car on the way. So, I'm already in that kind of headspace of something. Or I'll listen to a podcast that's really completely off different from what I write or what I do at work. So yeah. There's that separation between the office and the home where I can write. Yeah. Plus, I
That's
mean,
really
my
cool.
imagination is like always going, like always, and there's always people in my head talking. So yeah, please, yeah, take that
Isn't
with a
it
grain of
great that
salt.
we
Please
can just go,
don't
no,
help
no.
me. Oh yeah,
We can
I,
go, no, no, we're not crazy. We're just
yeah,
writers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just right. Yeah, so yeah, so that since that never turns off completely, then it's a matter of like getting into a place where I can finally listen to the characters and write down what they've been saying all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just don't shut up. They're like, no, you will listen to us. You will listen. Absolutely. So I do know that you are actually a reader of Sapphic fiction as well. What are three professions or personalities you would like to see more of in Sapphic fiction?
Ooh, ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems like Sapphic is pretty heavy in like the corporate world, and
Mhm.
there's quite a few like uh first responder occupations like firefighters and police officers and that kind of thing. Um, so I don't know, maybe even more artistic ones like painters and ballet dancers. There's a lot of Hollywood, so I think stage acting would be fun. Like, someone, yeah, that's an actual stage actress. I know like Rachel Lacey has one that's Broadway actress. That was a lot of fun. So to read, so even more of that would be fun. If somebody maybe that does like Shakespearean theater. I think that would be a hoot, to read a character that does that type of thing. So those type of things, more artistic for occupation. What was the other question?
or uh
Personality. Is that what you
either,
said?
yeah,
Yeah,
professions or personalities.
yeah. Well, Sapphic fiction's pretty heavy on the Ice Queen, it seems like, which I love. I don't ever get enough of that. So, if you just everybody just wants to keep doing that, that's fine with me. Yeah, I'll just keep reading that. Um, yeah, but I do like the more like quirky golden retriever type personalities too. And so like I read certain authors that are heavy on those. So it feels like it's out there a lot, but like as a whole in Sapphic, it's really not out there a lot. So yeah, maybe like just a quirky, golden retriever idiot type character sometimes that
Oh,
sunshiny.
I have to know what authors you are like your go-to authors
Yeah,
then.
yeah, for that, yeah, definitely. It's Chelsea M. Cameron. Definitely, yeah, they write. quite a few like that. Yeah, and it's always first person, so you're always like in the head of that main character. I mean, it's almost always first person. I think they might have done some earlier in their career where that wasn't the case, but yeah, it's almost always first person. So you're in their head of this just giant dork, and they're usually they're hapless, and they're like, I mean, they're just bungling things, and like and all that sapphic panic, like oh, does she like me like that, or is it just and
They're
yeah.
always the
So
last to know.
yeah. So yeah, that's definitely my go-to when I want that type of story. Oh, Lily Seabrook is good at that
Mm.
too. At least I've only read two, maybe three of hers so far, but like one of them was Faux Pas, which was for the Pride collection.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't read that one, but I have read a few of her other books.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, so yeah, it's very. There's definitely a golden retriever character, a very grumpy sunshine story. I love it so much.
Excellent. Grumpy Sunshine. Oh, well, excellent. I was going to ask what your favorite trope was, but we've kind of kind of covered those.
Actually,
Yeah.
fake romance is my favorite too. So, which
Uh,
football is a fake romance too. So, yeah, it covers it. Yeah.
oh, I absolutely love that. What has been your strangest book recommendation?
Like someone recommended to me, or I recommended to someone else.
How, both, either.
Oh, okay. Okay. Strangest. Okay, so somebody I work with. A few years ago, I had a car that only had a CD player, so none of the high tech stuff. So all I had was CD player. So my friend or my work friend, he was always giving me or lending me audiobooks on CD, and they were random, just the most random stuff. Like it was just whatever he had in his collection. Some of it was pretty awesome. Some of it I was like, "What the hell, guy? Why you?" But he gave me one that was about about a cowboy. It was a novel about a cowboy on the rodeo circuit, and he's like an aging cowboy trying to get his at least one good win before he has to retire. Yeah, and it was just like crazy. Like the thing starts with a poem about cowboys and like the bulls they ride and spitting dust and all that, and it was very very like not what I would have chosen. I mean, I'm from the South. I've been to rodeos before, so it's not like completely foreign to me, but I would not have chosen to read a whole book about it. Yeah, so that was strange. For what I recommend to someone else, and I'm always a little cautious at first to recommend this, but there's actually a nonfiction book called I Walk the Deadbeat, and it's about a professional obituary writer and like everything she's learned from writing obituaries for newspapers. And yeah, so I don't like bust that out right away because I don't want people to know I'm weird like the first time they meet me. But yeah, if I feel
Give them a
safe,
bit of time first to
yeah,
get to know you
yeah,
before you
I
bust that
kind of
one out.
slide into it, and then I'm like, oh, by the way, this is a great book about this woman obituary. So yeah, I Walk the Deadbeat. I can't remember the author's name. It was years ago when I first read it, but it was a pretty
I'm
great book.
I'm
Fascinating.
absolutely going to have to look that up.
Good,
That
yeah,
would be a profession I would like to read about
yeah,
in
yeah,
Sapphic fiction. Like,
yeah.
imagine could just
Wheels are turning, yeah.
yeah. I'm
Well,
like,
I mean, I don't know about over in Australia, but here though, there are no like that's it. Obituary writers, they have them for the big publications, New York Times, all those things. But like for all of the local papers, it's usually like the family that writes it or someone close to the deceased that writes it. So it was just interesting to think there's someone who just does that all the time.
yeah, that would yeah. Damn, the wheels are turning. The
Right?
wheels
Yeah.
are absolutely turning, and definitely going to have to check out that book. That's that's really cool. Sorry. All right. Well, we mentioned songs before, and you said that for this book, which is absolutely incredible, it was inspired by a song. Do you ever listen to songs and think of a Sapphic book that it reminds you of?
Hmm. Um, yeah, sometimes. So yeah, just to be clear, like the Dove Cameron song, like that's not my usual genre of music I just listen to. Like that just popped up on my TikTok, I think, and because like I end up following the person who plays the bass for that song, like
Cool.
the upright bass, or at
Yeah.
least for the live
The
performances.
random TikTok holes you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into.
So right, so like all I heard was even just the the bass intro to the song, which fascinated me because I'm a really big jazz fan. And so that's the part that caught my attention was the bass, and so then I listened to the rest of the song and chaos ensued in my brain from all that. But I love jazz music. So, and like my favorite singer in the world is Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, no.
And so, yeah, so many of her songs are romantic and they're, very dreamy and yes, very classy. So, like a lot of times, like there's one she sings called Misty, which is just about someone just like hopelessly in love with somebody else. And so a lot of those, those remind me sometimes of this, this sapphic longing. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, and because it's her singing, I'm, so in love. There's not any pronouns about, it's not about him, her. It's just her singing about somebody she loves. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
I love those kind of songs. They're fantastic because you can relate to them and everyone can relate to them
yeah,
in
yeah,
their
exactly.
own point of view, in their own perspective.
Right.
It definitely makes them more appealing
Yeah, for
to,
sure.
people who don't fit into heteronormative sort of society. Um, I've noticed lately there's been a lot of fractured fairy tales that
Mhm.
maybe they've always been there, but it just seems like they're out there a bit more in the Sapphic field at the moment. Are you pro or con against fractured fairy tales, and would you ever write one?
Yeah, no, I would not be opposed at all to writing one of those. I enjoy it. I think one of my favorites so far has been Cinders by Cara Malone. Yeah,
Okay.
like a very much a retelling of Cinderella, but the main character is a firefighter, very hot. There's a little bit of there's arson going on, so there's a mystery to it. Yeah, it's a great story. I
Cool.
really loved it, and I think it's part of a series of Sapphic fairy tale retellings, but that's the only one I've read so far. Um, but yeah, so I would not be opposed. I know this has been done before, but I really would like to do a Beauty and the Beast because that was my favorite movie growing up was Beauty and the Beast. Belle, the books, all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, all those
Absolutely.
big, yeah.
Yeah. Who
I've
didn't
seen
want to be Belle? Like, come on.
exactly. Yeah, who didn't want that library? Now all the crap that went around it to get to that library. Maybe not, but at least having that big library. That's that was a dream. I've seen the Broadway production of it in New York when it was on stage, and I just loved it. And I even liked the live action version. A lot of people weren't fans of it, but I was. So something, as I said, I know there have been Sapphic retellings of that already, but I would love to do a spin on that one sometime. I think that would
Yeah,
be a lot.
absolutely. Well, we all have, there's a I can't remember where I heard it. I think at university, but that there are only 5 stories in the world,
Right?
and
Yeah.
it it's all about how you tell it. And
Exactly.
so go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of which, what are you working on at the moment? Are you able to give us a little insights?
So I don't know if it will play out for this Valentine's Day, but I do have a little Valentine's Day short story I'm working on. Just depending on how chaotic my life gets in between now and when I finish. But it's in progress, so it's totally doable to do it by this year. But I don't want to make promises. So if it doesn't pan out this year, I'll do it for next Valentine's Day.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then for like a bigger novel, I'm working on one about that takes place like at a summer county fair.
Oh
Um,
no.
yeah. In fact, there's two like tiny, tiny characters that don't even have names in Forgetting With You may or may not show up again at
Right.
this county fair. So
Excellent. I
yeah,
was about to ask, is the short story at all connected to Forgetting With You?
it actually takes place at Shiloh's coffee shop. So yeah,
Yay!
so that's
Yay!
there's a connection. Yeah, and I think if you'll remember too, my um
Yes.
reader magnet, my short story for that everyone can get if they want to sign up for my newsletter. They it takes place in that same coffee shop, so where part of it does. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. A beautiful part of it, which is how I actually first found your writing, was signing up to the newsletter and reading the short, which was absolutely fabulous. I totally
Thank you.
recommend people go and sign up to Robin's newsletter, and I'll hopefully there might be a little thingy down here if I can edit it properly with the link, so that you all can go and do that, which totally takes care of the whole how can authors find you. newsletters are a fantastic way. Are you also on the socials as Robin?
So yes, I have a Facebook page. I'm not very active on it, but it's there. I have Twitter. Uh, and I recently, well, not recently, but I'm on Blue Sky also.
Yeah, it's a
So
bit hard at the moment. There's so many things coming and going.
yeah, sorry about that. My phone went off. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, so I'm on Blue Sky. Yeah, and that one's still by invite only, invite codes, but a lot of people are out there offering codes. So if
Yes,
you're interested in that, you should be able to grab one of those and join.
definitely. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And I would try to get this up again. There we go.
There.
You see that?
Yeah.
There we go. Definitely go check this out. Robin Clairvaux, sign up to their newsletter so you can get the first short story, which is set in, well, partly set in the coffee shop that's in Forgetting With You. And then you'll be able to get the new stuff that comes out as well. So thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for reading. Thank you for pestering me as you're reading.
Not a problem,
Yeah.
anytime.
As I said, your video review, I was like, I want to go buy this book now that I've read that, listened to that review, and I wrote it. So what does that tell you?
That's good. That's good. Well, it was a great read. And seriously, from the first line, Cam was like, just like, yeah, this is my kind of person. I love it. It was brilliant. All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
All right.